Good morning, my fellow members of the senior 3.
Good morning, Hjt.
Good morning,
Are you all there? You can hear very Okay. I have taken over. I have to remind you of what we have as far as our course to go to senior 4 and to finish senior 4 is concerned. And it is the one we have to first look at, and then we start off after our good arrangement. So according to what we covered last term, according to what we covered last term, we are supposed to, you were supposed to complete East Africa. Because as per now, we know very well that we are going to senior 4, and we still have a bulk of the rest of Africa as far as geography is concerned. And when we covered that syllabus, when we were in what? During that period, before you joined your different classes, at least you have reached, and we had only a small part remaining as far as East Africa is concerned. You understand? As far as East Africa is concerned, before we had a very little whatever remaining, and the 1 week or 2 weeks which you spent here, you covered that part of work. If you didn't, then we will organize with their teachers to see that they patch up with the remaining part. And I'm sure they gave you the outline of geography before you sit in senior 4. You have a paper with all the different type of work you covered from senior 1 to senior 4. Are you there?
Yes, Hjt.
Yes, Hjt.
And I don't hear that. Yes. You are seated like this. You are not supposed to get worried. You are going to complete whatever you have. And we have to remind ourselves before we start on the rest of Africa, we have to remind ourselves of what you must have as per now, to be sure that at least whatever is remaining is very little. And don't think that it is a lot, it is very little. We have to remind ourselves against the papers we are going to do. We have 2 papers that one have been announcing. That you have 2 papers. All the teachers told you have 2 papers. We have paper 1, which is mainly only East Africa. That is paper 1. And they have been setting, the last exams we set, they were properly arranged according to what the paper is supposed to look like. And we told, when we started, we discussed with other teachers that let them give you the format all the time. And the format for paper 1 is supposed to be with objectives as number 1, and those ones are compulsory. They are 30. They are compulsory, and you must know it. And all of those objectives are not from anywhere, but from only East Africa, not Uganda only, but Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi. And now in quotes, what? Southern Sudan. But that is the section. All of the objectives are from East Africa. They don't mind whether they are physical, human, drainage features, and so on, and other processes which we looked at and which we are going to look at as far as Africa is concerned. And then in that paper, we have map work. Are you there? We have map work. All of the map work we have covered, plus the ones maybe which you didn't cover. But all of the map work is there. And it is also a compulsory number. Number 3, you have photographs. Those ones we covered mainly through giving you simple exercises and so on, but you are supposed to get as many photographs as possible. Whenever you open a paper and you find a photograph, try to answer those questions. Because nobody is going to stand there and tell you, okay, when you are writing a sentence, it must be like this. That is not senior 4, because we refer to you as senior 4 students. As per now, we don't know. For you, you refer to yourself as senior 2, 0, 3s. Are you
Senior
following?
4.
Yes, senior 4, but you will have those lines which you must have completed for us to conclude to a senior 4, and you don't even answer. And then it has also what? Field work. That field work, we are going to, you are going to be taught as per with my friends in a form of a seminar. We will continue whatever, same with the seminars in field work or about field work. And that means that instead of us going to the field, we will teach you that field work, and you must be attentive. But don't now fight to get field work. Don't worry, we will reach there. We will cross that bridge when we reach there. Field work is compulsory and it is 15 minutes, max. Then after that, we have a question from East Africa. And there you can't spot. The question might be about relief, or they might be about relief, drainage, what. But you are supposed to answer one out of the normally 3 or 2. You are supposed to answer only one, and the total mark you get is 100. And that is paper 1. Now, when we go to paper 2, you must organize your work properly, get a notebook and write, what do I have here? Some of you don't know which paper you are supposed to deal with, what you are supposed to do. But when you look at paper 2, we have regions. We have 4 sections. And for us here, we teach only 3. We leave the last one, section D, for option. In case you find that you can't get a number from section C, you do a number in section D. But what is the format of that paper? That paper has, you are supposed to answer 4 numbers. You have 2 compulsory numbers for section A, and that is the rest of Africa. You must choose 2 numbers from the rest of Africa, which we are going to start now or today. And then after that, I'm sure you are writing it down, you have section B, which is about North America. That one is not compulsory. But we said you have 4 sections. You are answering 2 numbers in section A, which is about the rest of Africa. And then you are answering a question, 2 other questions from the remaining 3. But for us, we are sure we taught you North America. Then section C, that is where we have the Rhinelands. That one was taught to you in senior 2. North America was taught in senior 1, but we pushed it to senior 2 because some teachers hadn't finished. And then we went to what? To Rhinelands. Rhinelands has, I think, 5 countries there. You understand? Rhinelands has 5 countries. Remember very well, we have Switzerland, check and see. We have Netherlands, check and see whether you have that one. We have Luxembourg. We have Denmark. And what is remaining? What is remaining?
Germany.
Germany. Thank you very much. So those are 5. But you are supposed to answer only one question. out of those 5s. And they taught you those 5s until the end. So you have the notes. You understand? And then the last section, which is section D, is from China. But for us here, we don't teach China, but some of you can read and understand. You answer those questions, but at your own risk. Have you understood? You answer those questions at your own risk. But for us, we teach properly section A, section B, section C. D, we don't teach it. In other schools, they do teach it. And some of you have brothers and sisters who are in those schools. If you dare, if you can, you can study on your own, you can study section C. But if you fail to make up the 80 or the 75, it is none of our business. Because we know very well this, if you read and understand these sections or these areas, you will not fail. Do you understand? People, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. I can hear only 2.
Yes,
I can
teacher.
hear only
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
So are you comfortable? Have you written those things properly out? Because some of you come.
Not on.
Teacher.
Have you written those sections properly, papers properly, so that we can embark on our today's beginning of the rest of Africa? But what you have to do is, who is that one talking? If what you have to know is that if you haven't completed East Africa, that one will complete. Each teacher knows which work is remaining. But all of us are supposed now to start on the rest of Africa. Do you understand? So in your notes, I expect you to write the word Africa in capital letters. And when we are dealing with the Africa, we are not dealing with the East Africa. We are dealing with the rest of Africa. And even in the exam, it is stated the rest of Africa. Yes, if you give examples from East Africa, when you are answering the question about the rest of Africa, if you use an example from East Africa, when you are answering the question about the rest of Africa, you know very well that whatever you have done or whatever you have written is trash. We don't expect an example from what? From East Africa in paper 2, especially where we have Africa. Don't give examples from East Africa when you are answering a number about the rest of Africa in paper 2. Have you settled down now? Have you settled down? You answer. If you
Yes,
don't
teacher.
answer, you must be lively. So there we are. We are starting on our Africa. You understand? And what I have to tell you is that always now when you are coming to geography classes, don't forget your atlas. Because for East Africa, it was a bit easy. You were conversant with it. But now the rest of Africa, we need our atlas there. And after this lesson, I expect everybody to draw at least 2 outlines of Africa, just to draw at your own leisure. Get your book and draw. You can use the same book, but draw at the back. Then when you come here, I will look at them. When you come back here, I will look at those two. I said draw any two outline. Are we there? Then let us now concentrate on our Africa. What is Africa? What is Africa?
A continent.
Africa
It's
is
a continent.
a continent.
What is the position of Africa in terms of continent?
Of continent.
Yeah,
Center.
what is center? No. What is the position of Africa in terms of continent?
It is the third.
Second.
The third.
It's the third.
Which is which now?
The first.
The third
The
biggest.
first is Asia.
Then the second, the first is Asia. Then the second,
Africa. Africa.
second is Africa.
Africa.
So Africa is the largest, the second largest continent in the world. Now we are not using the word in Africa because we are off with the East Africa. Now we are talking in terms of the world. That continent, Africa. Followed by what?
North America.
North America. The fourth.
South America. South
Here you talk as if you are not in any PS. The fourth.
South America.
South America. The fifth.
Europe.
Africa.
West Africa.
North Korea.
Australia.
Australia.
Europe.
Antarctica.
Europe is not a
Is in
continent.
Asia.
It is part of Asia, as shall say. Then we have
Greenland.
Antarctica.
Antarctica and
Antarctica.
Arctic.
Cool.
Those are the 7 continents we have. What we have to know is to briefly pass it through how Africa became the way it is now. Are you following? Yes. Are you studying? Yes. Let us see what happened before we got that Africa. In the beginning, we are not becoming biblical. We are not teaching the Bible. So we are just saying in geography that in the beginning, we had only one land mass. You understand? You had only one land mass, which was surrounded by water. Yes. Are you following?
Yes.
But the cases are not very okay. They are very few. Which was surrounded by water. And what you have to know is that within the interior of the earth, there are convective currents. They are convective what? Currents which are moving, trying to move in either way horizontally, some are moving vertically, but most of them were moving horizontally. And when they are moving horizontally, they are not moving alone. They are pulling all of those billions of tons of CR. CR is the material which is making up the continent. CR. And we have Sima is the one which is making up the sea. Sima is the one which is making up the sea. This one is making up the continent. And the continent, whatever you are standing on or where you are seated on, is CR. Because it is that one which is making up the continent. We are seated on a continent. We are in East Africa, Africa, and in the world. We have CR on top and Sima at the bottom. Why? This one is lighter. This one is lighter. This one is heavy. CR is lighter. and the rocks which are making up Sima are heavy. These ones are lighter. So when the convective currents, imagine that you have, we are just wanting to find out how it came up to be like that. We have layers up here. These ones are the ones which are cyclic in nature. And then down here, we have Sima. And the convective currents are inside here. They are moving. They are moving inside here. Convective currents. Don't think that we are just on a table like this, and you are standing, or you are seated, or you are moving, making it, drawing it, and constructing the roads on something which is standing. Inside their movements. So when these ones, we had one landmass. When these ones took place, and these ones were moving on either side also, they got energy to tear that continent which is on top. And since these rocks are very light, they floated on top of the heavy ones, which is Sima. We are just getting to know what happened. Don't think that those people are going to ask us for that. I'm dropping geography. Geography is a compulsory subject. So these ones moved apart. There was a big bang. There was a big bang when these ones, there was a big bang. When the whole thing fractured. And since the convective currents were continuing, each block went on its way. And there was nobody, there was no one, even God was there, but you couldn't say that Africa go with only this, North America go with only that, Asia take this one, and so on. So everything busted, and those continents with Sierra continued moving. They first split into two, and then later on they split into those 7 continents. And when you bring them together, if you were to fit them, if you know the very real map of Africa and the very real map of North America, that one of South America, the Antarctica from down, the Arctica from where, and then Africa, Australia, when you fit them together, they form that thing. They form the original. If you were to bring them together, when you study the shapes of those ones, you will bring them together, and maybe that is where we have Africa, North America, what all of them are here. We said this one split into two. When they split into two, we had Gondwanaland up and Pangaea down. We had two. They first split into two. Then later on, there was a big bang, whereby this one broke into Africa. It broke into South America. It was part of Africa. It broke into Australia. It broke into, there were 5, South America, North America, Antarctica, and other Africa. Those are the 5. It first broke into 2, then this one sprinted into all of these. You may think that South America, when you are drawing your diagram of America, whatever, you may think that South America, since it is here, that initially maybe it was part of North America. No, this one was part of Africa. It was part of Africa. And when you draw your map properly, you are going to draw it. When you draw your map properly of Africa, this one has the fashion which is here. It's the same fashion which is here. Meaning that this one was part of it, it just broke from there. It can fit like a jigsaw when you were in primary and in nursery, you used it to fix things, and you end up getting the picture out. Or
the puzzles.
Those puzzles, the jigsaw puzzle. You will find that if you push this one back, it can fit here. If you move this one up to Europe, it will fit there. And when you look at Africa, now there is a part which is not there. When you draw the map properly, and they say that that part couldn't remain floating. It was lighter than whatever, or heavier than whatever was on top there. So the bottom was heavier than the other one. So if you were to draw the map of Africa properly, this one mine is not the best, it's not the proper one. If you were to draw the map of Africa, maybe it looks something like this. Here we have the Mediterranean Sea, that part, then you have Egypt or something like that. Down you have the what? That Red Sea. When you draw the map properly of East Africa and finish it properly, you will find that when you fit it back, there is a part which is missing there. They have tried, all of them, those people with the machines, they have tried to fit this map here, everything Australia brought here. But when they fitted this one, there is a part which is missing here. And what happened? They say that at near Natal there, we are going to look at Natal. Because Natal is outside East Africa, we are not going to refer to East Africa this now when we are dealing with the rest of Africa. This part is not ours now. We finished it. We are going to dwell here, do anything, everything, whatever we are talking about will be this way. So when you look at Natal, Natal is somewhere here. There is a part. And when they checked off the coast, they found out a crustal part, a crustal rock, which is down at the bottom of this ocean between Australia and South Africa, South African part. And they are saying that maybe this is the rock, because it was a bit heavier, it couldn't float on top to be a continent or to remain as part of this, it just sank. But the part is not there. So now the present day distribution of continents is a review, or is a symbol that they were together, they broke, they moved, and up to now they are still floating. Up to now they are still floating. Mind you, those people who are studying the rocks, they are telling us, even in East Africa, this Rift Valley was part of it, of course. But they are saying that it is widening. So for us who are in Uganda, we can rejoice a bit because we don't have it in our country. It is not part of our country. But what people are saying, that they are praying hard that this Rift Valley widens and then cut off this part of Kenya. And it goes with Nairobi. They are saying that let it go with it, Nairobi. Meaning that Uganda will be now the owner of the coast which will develop.
Having a seaport.
That is what we will have also a coast. But the rate at which they are separating, I think everybody will be there. We who are talking, you, and even you, because the separation is minimal. They are saying minimal, but it is there. And you never know, it can be accelerated by many things, and then off they go. And for us to be getting now the cost, deposing that you are going to maybe Bali coast or something like that, because it will be on the eastern side of Uganda. So that is that. Now, after seeing how the continents were and how they are now, how they split it, then let us concentrate on our Africa. And I'm giving you 2 minutes or 3 to do that, at least what you know about Africa. Some of you have books, you want to draw the map of Africa. Let us draw the map of Africa. Try to draw the map of Africa. Some of you have atlases, and I have allowed you fully 100% copy, but don't trace. Are we there? Are we there, people?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Don't trace. We are trying to draw a map of Africa. Don't trace, draw. But when you are drawing, don't draw mosquitoes or what? Draw a map. Let it cover
Dresses.
the full page. Just for us that, the full page. Make sure you mind this line. Mind this line. Don't draw it on this line. Use this space. But if you are eager to go to senior 4, if you are eager to go to senior 4, start drawing that line we talked about, that you must have a line here, because that is the structure of our paper. When you are dealing with any paper, when you are writing any paper in your name, this is how the paper will look like. This side, you do not write anything. This side, you do not write anything. It is for the examiners that put marks and so. Are you there?
Yes.
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 Everybody, you try. I can see some of you are not
Yes.
trying.
Yes, Hjt.
Try, and make sure yours is the best. But you would have drawn them using a pencil, not a pen. And whenever you are coming now, you must come with a pencil and a ruler.
No one was screen sharing, please.
Even if you have your own everything, or you are at home, make sure you organize. You have an atlas there. You have whatever, an atlas there, a pencil, a pen. You can have a set. The set is yours. You can have a set. Put it aside. After you have drawn, make sure that you check and see whether you can like that map to be presented to you. When you are sitting there advising and somebody presents a map which is like yours, then you will be happy. We are not in a hurry.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
Now, would they mark you wrong if you don't leave those sides on the map frame?
You will find them there. The paper is like this. The paper of your name is like this. It is not like the one you have, which has no lines on it. Even if it has only one line on this side, one you have, you are supposed to create another line, because you are telling, you said you want to go to senior 4. And the paper in the exam, the paper is like this. It's a booklet. These ones are so they don't expect you to write anything. Sometimes even in numbers, you write them inside. The form of your paper is like this. Here you have index, name, date, what, secret. Here, and then down here, you have the last line. It is like that. And now that is the one you are supposed to do. Are you progressing in drawing that map? Some of you are not drawing, I can hear. Be very fast. Be very fast. Have you tried to draw?
Yes,
And you must be
Still drawing,
because they are saying that Africa has a smooth coastline. Do you know the meaning of the word coastline? The map, the way you draw it, that coastline is a smooth one, as compared to the rugged one of North America. North America is rugged like that. Yours is a smooth one. Do you understand? This is a rugged coastline.
Yes.
Whichever country you look at, if you look at Switzerland, you will find that it has something like this. Yes. Like that. But ours, Africa, it is smooth. Don't draw a dress, draw a map of Africa. We are trying. That is just the beginning. And you know, by next week, you would have drawn 3 others. On for your own good, you can even tell your parent to give you a book specifically for drawing the map of Africa.
The
You start by
Africa.
drawing the map of Africa at the back. You can draw all other maps. Yes, draw those maps every time you feel like reading geography. First, I'm drawing now the map of North America because I dealt with North America. You draw without looking at the book and you see where you stop. Then the next time you will say, I will draw the map of Switzerland. You draw. Then the next time, I will draw the map of East Africa. Do you understand? You draw different maps, not to read about geography, but just to draw the map, such that when they ask you, you will be able to draw freely. The 2 maps, the 2 minutes are almost over. Is there anybody who hasn't finished? Are you there?
Yes, Hjt.
Now I hear only one person. Yes.
Yes.
Are you through?
Yes,
But I haven't said it trace. People, I haven't said that it trace. I have said draw. Even if you have an atlas, don't draw. And you put there the heading Africa. Put there your heading that it is the map of Africa. Draw the map of Africa. You have finished. Only one person has finished it.
Finished.
You have all finished.
Yes.
Compare yours with the one in the
finished.
atlas. Compare that map with the one you have in the atlas. Are they almost the same?
Yes.
Yes. And I didn't say that draw. I said copy, draw the map with the help of the atlas.
The atlas.
But don't trace. If you trace, you are doing a disservice to yourself. Have you heard?
Yes, teacher.
Me also let me try to see. You check and you tell me not there it is wrong. I'm trying to draw it. Have you tried it so much? That is very little. We are going to draw.
Yeah, especially this one.
Make sure you check it with me.
That one.
What is straight?
It's not. It's a bit long.
May have stopped there and continuing. Because I know there is Mediterranean Sea here, something that one. The Delta, Nile Delta, have you seen it? It's somewhere. Then you have that red. The Red Sea, I have put it there. the red C, and I have drawn it with the almost straight line because it is a result of faulting. The result of what? Faulting. Most of those, if you look at the Rift Valley, even when they are recording, they are drawing them, they draw with the straight lines.
A straight line.
As a result of that. Mining it has gone astray because I have to put there the whole of Africa. I have forced it there. Fine, fine. How much can you give me? How many? From mine, compare and contrast. But I haven't been drawing 2%. And yours?
10.
0.2.
Each hours are the best.
9 out of 10.
And 0.2 is your awesome mark.
Hey, by the way, teacher, 0.2.
If it is
It's 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10, thank you.
Why? How was a 10 out of 10?
Negative 0.3.
Okay. But there is no negative marking when they are marking exams. So you have failed. Eh?
0.
They don't
5 out of 10.
That one they can give. But through struggle, because when they are marking your papers, to give somebody a 0, you have to explain so much. But here you are not supposed to explain so much. You understand? Here you are not supposed to explain so much. Me, I'm an examiner. The minute you give a 0 or 1 or 2, you have to explain why you have given that mark. But somebody who gives 10 out of 10 doesn't explain. But when you give 2 or 3 marks, then you have to explain what you have given. You understand? Yes.
Hjt, what if we add Madagascar? Like, what if we add
Madagascar?
Madagascar is a long thing like this. Eh?
Yes, Hjt.
Yes. So we have put Madagascar. And whenever you draw the map of Africa, Madagascar is compulsory to be there. Eh? But you must not draw it up to reach what? Dar es Salaam, Mombasa, no. Somewhere down. Somewhere down here, you have our Madagascar. Now, we are trying to locate. We are looking at the location of Africa. If you want to locate Africa, you start by putting. If you want to locate Africa, you start by putting there the equator. The equator. Check on in your atlas and see where the equator is. Don't put it down here, up here. You understand? And if you put it very far, you find that even your Uganda will not be there. Because the equator is Uganda. 2 places. We have one in Hjt.Mwajjuma National Park. There is a crossing, the equator. And then there is another one here in Masaka. Masaka will have the equator crossing. So if you put it up here, you will put even Uganda up here because it has to cross. So you check and so this is a longitude, which is the major longitude, and it is marked 0. Okay? And this is the equator we are located. Is crossed by the equator. And when you were in senior 1, you studied about the globe. You remember?
Yes.
Eh? You remember you studied about you thought you had to draw that before you locate even Africa, before even you locate North America, before even you locate. You remember the globe where you have longitude and latitudes. You remember? And when you are locating any place, you say in Africa, north of the equator, south of the. You understand?
Right.
Eh?
Yes.
Because we expect America to be there and North Africa to be here and South Africa to be there. Then this Africa also is crossed by the tropical of Cancer. Tropical of what? Cancer. Tropical of Cancer. And for you, when you are drawing a map, all the writings must be inside. Do you understand? When you draw a map here, you put a frame here and you write outside. They will not give you a map. Those things must be in the frame. Do you understand? Even if it is a map of East Africa, a map of Uganda, a map of your area, you put it inside the frame. And all of the writings must be inside. And down here, we have the tropical of Capricorn. Capricorn. That one. We have that one. Make sure I put it on your, don't mind, don't worry, but estimate, because this is your first map. You understand? This is your first map. And we are not studying. Yeah, and we are not starting something new, because that is where you are. Eh? So everybody must pass the number about Africa, about East Africa. But it does not mean and fail North America and fail the Rhinelands and so on. No. But anything to do with the Africa, your country, at least you don't fail. So this one is 0. This one, they say it is 23.5 degrees. These ones are in degrees. If you can remember that the globe, and this one is also 23.5 degrees. They don't put centigrade, whatever, kilograde. They don't put those ones there. Are you there or you left because I told you to draw a map of Africa? I can't hear you.
We are there.
There.
And when you are, after you have drawn, make sure you don't write using a pencil. And don't worry, this is your first map of Africa.
Yes.
So these are latitudes. So it is located like that. Yes. It is crossed by the equator. It has the tropical Capricorn down, the tropical Cancer. They told us that they gave these names what in those areas. They told us that within this area, what is this one? Which part is this one? Eh? Which part is this one, which I have marked? At least who are you senior force? Who are you senior force? What is this part here?
Sahara Desert.
The Sahara Desert. You can clap for her.
Yeah.
You clapping. Clap for her. Me includes. This is the Sahara Desert. And they told us that why this one was named as the tropical Cancer was because when those people came to discover Africa, these countries were discovered by the whites, not by us who are the residents or the owner. We didn't know anything to do with the map of Africa. We didn't know even what was happening. Even up to now, we're just doing it because it is part of the syllabus. Most of you, all of you, you have never been in the desert. Those whites say when they came to Africa, on reaching here, many people got cancer because of the sun. Because of the sun, which is there. They could inhale the sun. and then it could give them lung cancer because of the stronger blowing winds. You have never seen winds blowing. When you see the wind shaking the trees, that's when you run and go and hide under your bed, that the tree is going to fall. But you have never seen those, whatever, the winds, the stronger winds, blowing, going with even tops of buildings.
Tornadoes.
Yes. So that is why they termed, when they reached here, they termed it as the tropical cancer. And they gave that line there, tropical cancer, that the minute you risk going there, you can get cancer. And that sand which is here is the sand they use to make what? The glasses. They get it from there. Not the one we were talking about for building houses. That one can't turn into the glass which they do. I mean, the material, the sand they use to make glasses. You understand? So that is it. And down here, when they came, they found very many people. They found very many people growing a lot of maize, millet, all of those
Sugarcane.
Yes, sugarcane is in that family. We have sorghum. Sorghum. We have
millet.
Yes. Even wheat.
things with the corn.
Cereals.
Rice.
Grains.
Not the millet, but mainly those ones with the corns. They found that these people along this side, they grow a lot of those corns. So they termed this one as the tropical of Capricorn. This one tropical of Cancer. This one tropical Capricorn. But those are what they told us, the stories. But maybe they had other influences. But those ones they hinted on. Because we were asking how come they gave them those names. And they answered us when they were teaching us long time tea. So that is what we have as far as longitudes. These are longitudes, these ones. But we have also latitudes from North Pole to South Pole. You remember senior fours?
Yes.
From North Pole to South Pole. So those ones, we have only one passing here. What is the name of that one? What
The
Greenwich Meridian.
Greenwich Meridian.
Greenwich, Iraq or her? Greenwich
Meridian.
That one. It passes there. So when you want to locate Africa after you have drawn, at least you mention them. You mention that Africa is crossed by the equator in the center, and it is also crossed by the major tropical of Cancer in the north, and then the tropical of Capricorn in the south. And it is also on the west, is bordered by the Greenwich Meridian. And you have to know that this Greenwich Meridian passes through Accra. It passes through Accra. So vaguely, we have located our map of Africa. So after knowing where exactly it is, and what do we, the major things we have, then we know at least you can start talking about Africa, because at least you can see and you can talk about it, because this part you have already covered it. You will not be very green. You will not be very green when we are discussing the geography of Africa. And automatically you know very well, senior folks, that this is the Horn of Africa. This is the Horn of Africa, where we have Somalia and whatever. Though we have pushed it a bit on my map, I have pushed it a bit up there. Although some of you haven't traveled. Anybody who has traveled?
Yes, Sergeant.
Not to hear you people. From Kabale to here, you haven't traveled. From here to Jinja, you haven't traveled. From here to Aruba, you haven't.
From Karamoja to Uganda.
From Karamoja to Uganda. Oh God, Karamoja is Uganda.
No.
Yes, Karamoja is in Uganda. Yes, Karamoja.
From Rwanda.
From West Africa, you have traveled. From Rwanda,
10 months.
we are saying from Rwanda, we are saying okay. Why? Because Rwanda will share the border. And when somebody stands there and starts telling us that I have traveled, and you don't mention any country.
From Eastern Uganda to Central Uganda.
From Eastern Uganda, Central Uganda. Even if you use those geographical terms, the Eastern, Western, you haven't traveled. Somebody who has traveled out, at least almost to zero outside Uganda.
From Rwanda to Uganda.
Uganda to USA.
If you have traveled from your Rwanda to USA, well and good, you have traveled. But you know, geography of Africa. Do you understand? Anybody with a problem about the map?
No, Hjt.
If you have your map properly, you can mention some. I'm telling you to give us 5 coastal towns. If you have the atlas, major coastal towns. 5.
Emba.
Not
Somalia.
not
Somalia.
Pemba, Mombasa,
Mombasa.
East Africa.
Somalia.
Dakar.
Mozambique,
Tunisia.
This year, that was this like this. This year is here. That is one.
Morocco. Morocco.
Morocco, I take. Maybe it is somewhere here, huh? Now you are
Mozambique.
Mozambique.
Madagascar.
Leone.
Tripoli.
Tripoli. So
Cape
now
Town,
you are minding about your stop.
Comoros.
Cape Town,
Tripoli.
Yeah, we say the towns or cities.
Cape Town,
Cape Town. Okay. Cape Town is maybe somewhere here. Cape
Swaziland,
Niger.
Kinshasa.
Mogadishu. Zambia.
Cape Verde.
Lagos.
Mogadishu,
Algiers.
Maputo.
Mombasa.
Algiers.
Lusaka.
Swaziland.
coming.
You guys, how many lessons do we have a day?
2. We have 2 lessons.
One people are written, Morocco have written.
Dhaka.
Accra.
Lagos.
Where is Accra? Where is Accra?
In which Ghana?
In
Ghana.
Ghana. West Africa.
Is it a coastal town?
No.
Say
No.
a coastal
No.
It's not.
town, huh? Why you are
China and Accra is one of them.
Lesotho.
Maputo.
Ivory Coast.
Lesotho.
Ivory Coast is a town.
Rwanda.
Yo. Lesotho.
Lesotho is
Mombasa.
a town.
No, cash.
In East Africa.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Lagos.
Mogadishu.
What about
Teacher Simulira ya
Cairo?
moja gatembo.
Tripoli.
Nitaka Simulira teacher.
Police is there.
Algiers.
Alexandria. You hold on, I'm coming. Somebody who is disturbing me. You come.
Hey guys, geography can freeze.
Tracy.
Like, people what happened in the
How many lessons do you guys have every day?
On Monday.
We have two.
We do two lessons.
It's not any time can move.
You guys, why did you stop yesterday's math lesson?
The way even
Mean.
On that stuff of frequency distribution table.
The teacher finally sent the assignment.
frequency distribution assignment.
And then how to work out the mean with the table. That's where she
Yeah,
ended.
what's up? What's up?
She didn't give us an
You guys have an inquiry. What has teacher been teaching?
She's been teaching about.
What is
Been
it
teaching the
that-
rest of Africa.
How to locate
Rest of
Africa.
Africa.
Look at Africa. And the coastal towns, that's where we have ended.
How to locate Africa?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
I got
Use
lost when
the
she told us to
equator.
draw the map. So
Good morning.
Good morning.
The rest.
Adina.
take away.
Thank you.
Dina.
Madina Gawe. I'm not
Mm.
going to grabbing our work.
Adina, where's your
You
man?
not just suffered to draw it.
Madina, what are you teaching?
Is there more feeling type of being a topic?
Everyone wants to talk. Mute.
Madina, hi.
You guys are really shouting.
Dina.
Nakatambo what?
You guys, I have come in late. What was the lesson all about?
Wait for the next lesson.
You guys, we are leaving.
You guys, when is the next lesson?
11:30.
11:30.
Like what time?
11.
And when does this
What
one
time?
end?
10:30.
It's 10:30.
Yeah.
Okay. What lesson was it?
You don't even consider they are saying that.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
English.
It's game.
It's game.
Nita.
Can talk.
You guys,
Oh my
when
God.
you're describing Africa,
10:30.
like do you write down the map that maybe Africa is crossed by equator?
Do that. Then you
Okay.
Sorry.
Someone coming check back. Maybe. You guys, after drawing the
Peter,
map,
what's up? In a lesson 2, right?
People, how long is Hajat going to be absent?
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You excuse the lady to use the washroom and not ask questions.
you guys, after drawing the map of Africa, do you write some words about it?
It was optional. You would write or you would chill. But me, I wrote.
Relax. She's calm.
Peter, let's come out.
you.
Wait, what?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
The hell.
Yeah, nigga. Mohesi Petero.
Very many coastal towns, especially in the west part of Nkuzizana. Okay. Especially in the northwestern part of the continent. Are we there?
Yes.
Are we there?
Yes, Hajat.
Yeah, if you are doing something and they have told you the right thing, don't get scared. Don't worry. You are in this world alone where exams are concerned. They will not need another person. So for you, what you have to do, get set again. So we have put there the towns. Can we put there a port, one port like this, the one you know? One port you know. Don't put there Port Belo. We are not dealing with East Africa. We are dealing with the rest of Africa, and some of you have atlases. At least put one. I would have asked for 2, but I want only 1. Who can give us how 1?
Dar es Salaam.
Port Elizabeth.
Port Gentil.
Port Mombasa. Port
Mombasa.
Mombasa. Durban.
Port Elizabeth.
Port Mombasa. Port Durban.
Put Durban there.
How cold?
Because all of those ports
Port.
are towns. Another one in the north.
Port Said. Port Said.
Port Said. Is it in North
Port
Africa?
Elizabeth.
Port Elizabeth, put it there. What else? There is a one where we have pyramids. What happened? Have you ever talked about pyramids in primary?
Yes.
Teacher, in the north, Port Tripoli.
Tripoli is a town. We put it there. But there is Alexandria. Alexandria, that's where we have even pyramids. Do you know where it is? Have you
Yes,
located
Hajat.
it? Yeah, it's very, very important. But you haven't put anything in the southwestern part of Africa. Southwestern part here, you haven't put.
Well, this bay.
Here,
Port Harcourt.
Port
Harcourt.
Okay. Port Harcourt and
Port
Lagos is also a port. What about Kinshasa? Check and check and see Kinshasa. Is it a town? Kinshasa or Kinshasa, whatever.
Yes, Sajid, it's a town.
It's a town. Then what is the port near that one? If that one is a town, you know, some of those towns can serve as a port and at the same time as a what? Do we see any port there?
Yes.
Yes.
No, here.
Anyway, along the Suez
Point
Canal,
no,
yeah, along this canal, we don't have any.
Port Sudan.
Eh?
Port Sudan.
Port
Port
Sudan.
Sudan. Port Sudan. Port Sudan along the coast of this
Port
Suez
Elizabeth.
Red Sea.
Port
Port
Elizabeth.
Said.
Port Sudan, rumor has it that there is Port Sudan. I know.
Port Said.
So you see, that one is richer than East Africa. Don't you see it? When we look at all of those ports, all those major towns, those ones are better off than us, the East Afrikaners. Because for us, we have mainly three. We have Mombasa, Dar es Salaam, what else? And it will finished Mombasa and Dar es Salaam only. But for them, whatever you mention is there. Can we name some of the countries which are found in Western Africa? Western Africa.
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Mali.
Ghana,
Mauritius.
Senegal,
Ghana.
Liberia,
Sierra
Leone.
Gabon,
Mali. Mali.
Togo,
Mauritania.
Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon,
Gambia.
Chad,
in South Africa. Now we are looking at the southern part.
Botswana.
Botswana,
Angola,
Namibia.
South
Africa.
Zambia.
Africa,
Lesotho,
Namibia, Lesotho,
Mozambique.
Zimbabwe,
Lesotho.
Madagascar,
Madagascar.
Zimbabwe,
Madagascar is in South Africa.
No.
Yes.
Liberia.
Madagascar is in South Africa.
Namibia.
Liberia is in South Africa.
No.
No.
It's in West Africa.
In West
Zimbabwe.
Africa. Zimbabwe
Malawi.
they have mentioned. Malawi they have mentioned.
Swaziland,
Angola.
Lesotho.
Lesotho.
Maputo.
Angola.
Okay. Those ones are enough. Now, if you look at our map and whatever you have mentioned, I don't think that you are very green now. Are you very green? Do you know the meaning of the word being green?
What do you mean by green?
Yes. By that you don't know anything
Not
about the
knowing.
rest of Africa. That is being green about the rest of Africa. Are you green still?
Like grass.
No.
We are not green. At least we can locate some towns, we can locate some countries, we can locate some ports. At least you are not green. We are not green. Are we?
No.
Or you are lost?
Not
Or you are tired?
We are blue.
Now, that is the political part when we look at towns, countries, ports, and so on. Generally, those are political aspects. You know, a map has a political, we have political maps. Those ones showing the towns, what countries, and so on. You can have a physical map. And it is the physical map, the physical part of Africa, which we are going to deal with next. You
Frozen.
Frozen, eh? Chef.
Hi, Kathy.
They mention it. Muri frozen.
You're frozen.
When you know
You're frozen.
remember,
Teacher, you're frozen.
I'm not. I can see you.
Mama, you're not.
I'm not.
Oh, that's good.
Frozen.
From you.
To you.
That all of us can see you. You're frozen.
Frozen.
Next week. We meet next week, but I want you to come with a map drawn without anything, the best map of Africa, drawn without anything. Come on.
Okay, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.
Thank you for taking up. Thank you, Hajat. God bless.
Bye, Hajat.
Bye.
People, bye.
You guys, what's the next lesson?
Chemistry.
At what time is it beginning?
11:30.
11:30.
Thank you.
No. Hey, you people have toothpaste.
I'm not hearing anything.